You can't see it, you can't feel it, but it's an invisible civil war raging inside your body. It can stay there undetected for months, even years, slowly spreading disease. What is it? Inflammation. It's more common than you think, and it causes heart attacks, stroke, even cancer. Today, I'll show you how to spot, avoid, and attack this silent killer. It starts as a slow-burning fire inside of you, and it acts as your body's first responder to infection and trauma. Inflammation. That tender, red-hot spot that may look or feel alarming, but really means your immune system is hard at work, launching a flurry of white blood cells and proteins that devour the infection and help to heal you. But if the inflammation sticks around after its job is done, or your immune system goes haywire and ignites itself by accident, what was once your best friend can morph into your worst enemy. When inflammation becomes chronic, your body's defense system turns on itself, mounting a stealthy, devastating attack on your joints, tissue, and blood vessels. That's when the slow-burning flame becomes a 5-alarm fire. For years, chronic inflammation has been linked to diseases like rheumatoid arthritis, multiple sclerosis, and asthma. But now researchers realize chronic inflammation may also be at the very root of the life-threatening diseases you fear most: cancer, heart attack, diabetes, even Alzheimer's. Is chronic inflammation silently eating away at your health? The answer can save your life. So what is inflammation? Inflammation is the body's first aid reaction to heal itself for some type of damage. For example, what happens when you get a cut? When you get a cut, you have this big reaction. So you've been injured, the body says, whoa, I'm gonna make my body go to work, bring my immune system on, turn it into this big raging fire so it can fight off the infection. And once it's killed the infection, what does it do? If it was working right, it shuts off and it's gone. You've healed the wound, no big deal. Now, what happens when the body's inflammatory process fails to shut down? Then it becomes chronic. And chronic inflammation is more like this. It's this low-grade, continuous process where the body can't decide if it should be upset with you or not. And so for that reason, it sort of stays on this low burn, but it's always on. Now, there's no infection to kill. Or if there is one, it's a low-grade infection. So what does it do? In order to keep itself busy, it begins to attack its own tissues. Your own healthy body parts begin to get injured. And unlike a bruise or a scab, where you actually wanted a raging fire to protect you, the inflammation is below the skin surface, and it's not helping you. It's invisibly hurting you. How do you know if you have chronic inflammation? Well, there's a $25 blood test. This is a new test that's available, that's being done by a lot of doctors. Now, you'll hear of it sometimes. It's called C-reactive protein, or CRP. And as inflammation increases, you're going to see CRP levels increase in your blood as well. And these doctors now are using this high-tech sensitivity scale to figure out whether you're at high risk for heart attacks. And again, it's a new idea that's starting to take over a lot of how we practice medicine. Now, how do you know if you're at risk? If your CRP level is under 1, you have a very low risk of having a problem. If you're at an average level, which is between 1 and 3, then I wish you were lower, but it's okay. If you're high, over 3, I get worried. Because if your CRP is high, the chance of you having a heart attack is twice as high as if it's not.
Okay.